let's get a quick look at the delegate count in the presidential election. Now, this shows Mitt Romney running away with it in the Republican race, but of course, thinking back a few months, it was a lot closer, and you had some people clamoring for a third-party candidate. Now, there was a group that had put together a $35 million quest to field one of those candidates, but it looks like they've achieved all they've set out to do except one thing. They never actually found a candidate. We got Neil King in Washington, D.C. to tell us a little bit about this group and, you know, this little uncomfortable problem that they've run into here. Neil, tell us about that.
Good morning. Yeah, this was an effort. The group was called Americans Elect. A lot of sort of high-minded, disenchanted political operatives, donors, and the like, mainly from the East Coast, a lot of New York, Wall Street money went into this effort. And, you know, the idea was, let's open the way for a candidate. Let's get somebody on the ballot, you know, somebody to be determined later on all the ballots, statewide ballots, which is a huge task in its own right. Let's create a whole system through which online internet page, website would be used to nominate somebody for the Americans Elect ticket,
and yet
et cetera,
nobody emerged, and yet nobody emerged apparently that could really carry this ball and run with it.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about it was that they, you know, their concept generally, when we've looked back at independent candidates, third-party candidates, Ross Perot, you know, even somebody like George Wallace, Ralph Nader, it's the person, the movement that comes first, and then they scramble to build an organization. In this case, they built an organization, cleared the path, and hoped somebody would come. They built it, and essentially so far no one has come. And it says something about this environment. Nobody really feels like jumping in, and now they're at a loggerhead to figure out what to do with this great, you know, machine that they built with nobody to ride it.
So they still have the machine. They're hoping to find someone later? Are there any prospects that are even remotely possible?
Well, I mean, you know, they have had a nominating process online, and Buddy Roemer, for instance, who's the one who's leading the pack at the moment, the former governor of Louisiana, but nobody's been able to clear the necessary thresholds in terms of online support to enter the convention. It's all a very kind of complex system, but so, and the deadlines have run out, so now the group is going to meet tomorrow and try to figure out should they bend their own rules and how to proceed. But what they'd really hope for is that some brand name somebody, former CEO, former governor, former whomever, would step forward and galvanize a movement, a sort of centrist movement. But barring that, it's hard to see how any particular momentum would come out of this whole organization.
Yeah, I guess if you wanted to cast that protest vote this year, you're going to have to go libertarian or something else. Neil, thank you so much. You've been on the campaign trail all year. You're going to stay on it, and we'll be with you the whole time.